This particular assignment is a very custom page size, and the reason why I have it like this is because there are certain printing page sizes available if you go to a place like FedEx office or the UPS store, where you can print really nice big color images or posters. So here goes. We're going to create a new, and I definitely don't want to use points. If you can do the math in your head, 72 points is in 1 inch, but I think we're going to go to inches. And one of the preferred page sizes for printing in one of those places where you can go take your file and get it printed is this one, 11 by 17. Now, if you had to work on your project in landscape orientation, it's flipped, right? But I think the one that we're doing is in portrait orientation, so we'll leave it like that. We only need one artboard. I would suggest naming your project every time you start it. There you go. I've got an artboard right now. If I go to this tool, it's the artboard tool. And if I had to use the artboard tool, I could manually change the size of this, or I could also go on this side and change the size directly with my number keys, I guess. Let's go look at the layers. And in the layers, I'm changing this one to be, it's over here, template. It's not too much different than how I had you work on the symbol design project. Hitting OK. Your template layer is going to be locked when you create it, so I unlocked it. It's selected, and this is where I'm going to place the coloring book page that you found. File, and down to place. All right, I know where I have mine on the desktop. You could probably use a JPEG or a PDF. Let's use this JPEG for right now. Hitting place. And now I have my image that I'll go put about where I think it might be. If it's not filling the space the way you want it, as long as your layer's unlocked, you could probably go resize it. I think I'll resize mine to 150%. And I'm changing the height and the width at the same time because I'm on uniform. Let's see if that looks good. Hey, we'll say that's okay. Might have to move it around in my artboard. You know what? I think I'll resize it some more. So this time I'm just using my selection tool. I'm holding down Shift to maintain the height to width ratio. And I think we're going to be okay. I think I'll put Dora off to the side just a little bit and give her some more lead room on this side. Hey, that's video production term though. So if I decided that that's where I want my art to be on my artboard, I'll probably go lock that layer. And I think it's time to create a brand new layer. This layer we'll call the black line layer. In my black line layer, I'm going to work exclusively with the pen tool, maybe the curvature tool if you need some things that are uniformly curvy. I would shy away from using the line segment tool unless you're creating a guide or you're making something that's extremely geometric. You might end up trying the paintbrush tool, but what you don't want to do is use the paintbrush tool to try to scribble and fill in shapes. That will give you huge headaches later on. So let's set up the pen tool to get started. You won't want to work with a fill at this point, but you probably do want your stroke to be a little heavier. So here I go. I'm trying it out. I might even go in and work on things a little heavier than that. But this gives us a good opportunity to start to play around with variable thickness lines, which will be a part of this project. I'll have this path with a stroke selected, and let's say I want to replicate something on here and use one of these varied thickness lines. Let's try this one. You can see that My stroke has taken the profile of this width profile. If I make it heavier, you can kind of see it a little more prominently. Let's go try one of these other ones. At this point, it's heavy on that side, and it goes and tapers down. Let's check something else out really quick. On this side, I've got a little stroke control right here. Might have to go show options. And this lets me do some other stuff with my variable thickness lines, including take this width profile and swap ends on it. That's pretty cool. I can also do great things like add a little bit of a curvy cap on it or some things like that. If you haven't figured it out by now, your goal at this point is to recreate all of the line art on your coloring book page, at least any of it that you think you'll use in the finished illustration. So if you are not working on the background at this point, that's probably okay, but at least any of the foreground subject, the main foreground of your illustration, is all the stuff that you're going to recreate right now. Hopefully that'll help you get started with your coloring book page. Thanks for paying attention.